It's the NFL on EA Sports. Coming up, we'll see Kenny Pickett. He's coming off a quality showing last week. Well over 300 yards in that one. It's the Texans and the Jaguars, and it's coming up next on Madden Football.
The calendar may say autumn, but temperatures are still pretty sweltering here in North Florida. But the good news, the radar is clear. Still, hydration will be key today at TIAA Bank Field in Jacksonville. Today it's week 3, and we've got a good one in store, as it'll be the Houston Texans taking on the Jacksonville Jaguars. Alongside my partner Charles Davis, I'm Brandon Gaudin. Charles, you look at this Jaguar team. It's an early test here after 2 losses to start the season, and a game they probably really need.
Obviously, no way do they want to get to 0-3. Not many teams make the playoffs with that kind of a start.
Meanwhile, for our visitors, the Texans, an early season tilt. And when it's an early season tilt, should be ready to roll.
Well, let's face it, the aches and...
It's the first weekend of autumn, and the NFL is in full swing as off we go on EA Sports. This taken in right around the goal line. And able to get this across the 20, but not much further as he's dropped it to 23-yard line. So here's the first drive now for the Jags. They'll be led out by their quarterback at 6'2" out of Auburn. It's Jarrett Stidham.
And the numbers were not pretty. I mean, they don't look right. When you throw 2 interceptions, no touchdown passes, there's no way to really make that work. But I thought there were a lot of positives in watching his game tape. I think he's close to putting on a good performance. Let's see if he can flip those numbers around in this game. And, of course, rally his team to a win.
Hey, not much there. Maybe a yard up to the 24. The numbers for Mixon last week, 19 carries, 79 yards.
I can't remember the last time we did a game and a coach didn't talk about establishing the run first. But they've lost 2 straight games, so they still want to do that, but they've got to have some contingencies, some other options. Expect them maybe to throw it a little bit to open up things and maybe run it a little bit more later in the game.
A deep ball there on 2nd down, but it'll wind up incomplete. So trouble already here on their opening drive. This is 3rd and 9. They go play action with Stidham. Pass taken in by his big tight end. And they nearly get this all the way to midfield. Mark him down at the 49. 25 yards that time.
Well, 3 and out to start the game would have been a real disappointment. So this is a nice job of finding something you think will work and executing it. And they're able to keep this opening drive going.
On 1st down, Stidham. Short pass taken in by Schoonmaker. He'll be taken down at the 48 for a pickup of 2 yards. From a couple of yards beyond midfield, here's 2nd and 8. Here's Stidham to throw. And that'll be incomplete. Took a pretty good shot as he tried to pull that one in. Couldn't hang on, 3rd down. They'll be in search of 8 yards here as they hope to convert the 1st down. Now it's Stidham. Work in the middle of the field, and he's got a man complete. And he's going to be taken down with another 1st down as the stop's made at the Texans' 35. They give him 14 yards that time and a fresh set of downs.
1st and 10 at the 35-yard line.
A quick throw out to Lockett. They'll give him 4 yards there, and that'll bring up 2nd down.
Again, 4. It's now 2nd and 6 at the 31-yard line.
Mixing up the middle. He winds up getting only a couple there, down to the 29.
Well, they certainly had success throwing the ball in this drive, and not as much running it as we just saw once again on that last play. Stopped after a very short gain. But I wouldn't abandon the run totally, because otherwise, pass rushers just tee off on your quarterback. Makes it very, very difficult for him in that situation.
Now, meanwhile, a pass that should have been intercepted, but it winds up falling incomplete. Now Zane Gonzalez for the field goal try. From the left hash, this from 46. And this is just outside the right upright. It's no good.
disappointing when you miss a field goal, but when you're playing against a defense this good, you and I both know that's a crucial miss because you can't afford to leave any points out there. You've got to take them when you can.
Houston set to take over. Now, early on, you know, Charles, every game could be called a measuring stick game, but I think when it comes within your division like this, it's a measuring stick game with a little extra intrigue.
I would agree with that totally because all division games have a little extra to them. But I like where this game is situated because at this stage of the season, it has that little extra juice, but at the same time, it's not a make or break if this were, let's say, week 15, 16, somewhere in that neighborhood.
These are his numbers from last week's contest. 15 carries, 64 yards.
Not a horrendous week last week running the ball, but definitely room for improvement for their numbers. No doubt they made some slight adjustments and having to call plays this week in hopes they can kick those numbers up a notch.
That's a nice job there defensively, being able to diagnose that little touch pass. They saw it coming, converged on it before he could get much out of it.
They'll try and run for the first with Taylor. And he'll go down right around the 47 this time. They only get 2 there, but on 3rd and 1, that's all they needed to keep the drive alive.
I liked his focus there because he wasn't thinking about breaking that one big. All he thought about was, I need 1. Let's go get that. Ended up picking up 2.
Now the third-year man, Najee Harris. And he's going to take this across midfield into Jacksonville territory. It's a 7-yard carry to set them up with a 2nd and 3. Counting down toward the midway point in quarter 1. Harris going to get it again on 2nd down. And he's going to get this one down near the 45-yard line. Just a gain of a yard there, and now it'll be 3rd down. They'll come to the line, needing only 2 yards to gain the first here. Now some movement before the snap. And we'll hear from our referee for the first time this afternoon. The offense knew it. They were already starting to walk back as that one is accepted. And a manageable 3rd down becomes a lot less manageable. 3rd and 7 after the false start. From the midfield stripe, they'll look to throw. Able to find the open man. That's complete. And he's going to have another first down as the tackle's made at the Jaguars 28. Great way to convert on 3rd down there. 21 yards the play. So he turned to a trusted, familiar face in that 3rd down situation. It paid off.
Yeah, you go to your veteran receiver in that spot, so you can't underestimate him when he's on the field defensively. Make sure you know where he is because he understands how to get open in key situations.
And a good-looking run there as he'll take this inside the 20 and down to the 18-yard line. A good gain again. That's now 31 yards combined on those last 2 plays. So from inside the 20, here's 1st and 10 at the 18. Flag comes in. This might be a free play. He gets it complete to Harris. And able to break 1 tackle, but then quickly brought down. But a nice little gain. And that one was relatively easy to see. I noticed that from up here.
Yeah, it doesn't take a whole lot, does it? Sometimes you get multiples. What I always love on these offsides is when each side points at the other. Hey, you did it. No, you did it. They deciphered that one correctly.
Pickett back to throw. And got his man. It's caught. Touchdown, Houston. Robert Woods, his first touchdown of the new season. And the Texans will jump on top with the game's first score here this afternoon. Now, this is a crew. They've come out flat their last 2 games, both losses, but just judging by the energy. And we remember, of course, all scoring plays need to be verified upstairs, and I think they're going to at least take a look at this. They're taking a peek at whether or not those feet were in bounds, and obviously a big call here in the end zone.
And not just the feet. How about the hands? How's the ball possessed while the feet are hopefully getting down in bounds? That's what they're trying to look at to see if it all comes together.
So they called it a touchdown originally, and this will stay a touchdown after the video review, so they had it right. Extra point by York is up and good. And it's now a 7-0 game. No run back here, down to a knee, and this drive will start at the 25. So time to see Jacksonville again on offense for the second time here in this game. And the way their last drive ended, boy, it was frustrating. They had a pretty good drive going. It was sustained, and then it stalled out, Charles, and they missed the field goal and got nothing out of it.
Is that insult to injury? Because they had such a sustained drive, as you noted. So you know for the head coach, it almost felt like a little bit of failure to send out the field goal unit and then to not even see the ball go through the post. What a bummer on that last drive for them. Got to pick themselves up from that one.
It'll be a gain of 5, but still about 3 yards shy of the first down marker, and now it's third down. Here's Stidham. A bullet throw, but incomplete.
That certainly looks like nothing to show now from these first 2 possessions. And guess what? When you're on a losing streak, that can lead to a full sense of, here we go again. So on the sidelines, the offensive play callers, quarterback, they've got to get together and dial something up to start their next drive. Otherwise, it could be a long game.
So possession goes over here on the punt. And the Texans will take over with a 1st and 10. Pickett. He'll drop this down to Taylor. And he'll go down just shy of the 25 at the 24-yard line. From the 24 now, here's 2nd down and 7. Here's Pickett. The throw here right sideline falls incomplete. Robert Woods, former USC man, the intended target, and it's 3rd down. You look at this Jaguar defense. They are number 2 in the NFL against the run right now, Charles.
And that play right there shows exactly why they're so good against the run. Held the line of scrimmage, held the point of attack, and stuffed him for no gain.
23 yards, the final tally.
I think when they look at their offense, they think to themselves, weapons, weapons everywhere, and they want to move the ball around. They want to spread it to different people, but you absolutely know they want to get this man involved as well, and that's what they just did on that play.
First and 10, Taylor now. And he's going to take this across midfield into Jacksonville territory. 5 yards on the carry. Good pickup on 1st down. Looking to throw, Pickett. Buying time to his left. And they'll get this just to the 47. 1-yard gain. This now a 3rd and 4. Back to throw, Pickett. Now a quick throw there, but it's going to be incomplete.
Coverage was awfully tight there on 3rd down. They actually closed off all the passing lanes, forcing the incompletion and bringing up 4th down.
As Sanchez on to punt here as he sends this one away. And did he put that on a dime? He did. Wow, out of bounds at the 1-yard line.
Talk about angling that one perfectly, partner. We know the ball can bounce anywhere, especially how it's shaped. But that one, as if on cue, goes out of bounds perfectly.
Perfect indeed, right at the 1-yard line. Excellent coffin corner punt. Here's Joe Mixon as they start on the ground. And he will possibly get back to the line of scrimmage. That's it. On the other hand, it will definitely take us to the end of the 1st quarter of play. After 7-0 on EA Sports. 2nd quarter now from Jacksonville, and it's the Jags with the football as they've got it with a 2nd and 10. Again, it's Mixon. And he'll get this only up to about the 3-yard line. 2 runs in a row, but only 2 yards to show for it. The Jaguars on 3rd down. They've hit 2 for 4 thus far. This is 3rd and 8. Now it's Mixon running right. And he's able to break out a run tackle, but then quickly brought down. Give him 3 yards there as that'll take us to 4th down.
We often talk of situational football. Let's just call it team football. The defense did their job, got off the field, brought the punting situation, so they're turning the ball back over to their offense. You think those guys will get along very well right now? Of course they will. Defense helped the offense. Now it's their turn to take it downfield.
And here now the punter Fox as he sends this one away. We'll call that a 43-yard punt, 2 on the return. And the Texans with great field position to start this drive as they take over 1st and 10. A give for Taylor running right side. There's a nice move. Oh, he sheds himself free. And he is tackled inside the 40, not quite to the 35. Now we'll pause for the injured player, and it's Jonathan Taylor who's shaken up. It certainly would be a major loss for this offense. Hopefully he's okay. So from the 36 now, 1st and 10. Now Pickett. It's brought in by Harris. And they're able to get this one past the 30 down to the 25. Back-to-back good plays have them on the move on 1st down. They run the play fake. Here's Pickett. And that is caught. Touchdown, Texans. Travis Kelce, his 2nd touchdown on the season. And the Texans go up by 2 touchdowns. What a great weapon. So often, such a big mismatch.
And there's no route he can't run. You name it, he's going to do it. And he's a matchup nightmare for the defense. No matter who they put on him, he's going to win the battle.
Extra point by York is up and good. And that'll make the score 14-0. Sanchez now, he'll kick it away following the touchdown. From a couple yards deep, he'll bring it out of the end zone. Now a crease here as he's past the 30. Now that should give him a spark. He's across the 40 to the 43. Here comes the Jaguars offense as they get set to go again. And they're in a bind early here, down 14-0. Are you worried at this stage or still too early?
You're worried. You're just trying not to transmit it to the rest of your team. You want to make sure that they stay positive. But at the same time, you're wondering, how are we going to move the football? What do we have on this play sheet that can work? Get back to basics is usually your answer. And make sure you find the guy who can move the ball fastest for you if you just get it in his hands.
Yeah, still 2nd quarter. You get points on the board here. I think you're feeling okay. From the gun, it's Stidham. They will find Davis. That's complete. That'll leave him with a 3rd and 2 coming up. They got 8 yards there.
When you see zone defense and you know you've got a drag route on as your primary call, you got to be really careful as a passer about how far you let your guy go because he might wander into some tough coverage.
3rd and 2 now Stidham. And that's going to be incomplete. The contact there enough to jar that ball free. And it brings up 4th down.
One thing you hope to see out of a rookie tight end is a real concentration when the ball's in the air, and I'm not sure that he didn't, but he has to be prepared for people making a play on it when that ball's up for grabs.
And this will be out of bounds. Now it's a question of where they'll mark it, and they'll say it crosses at the 11-yard line. The Texans offense set to regain possession. It's been a good first half so far. They're up 14-0. Points here, they could really put them in command before intermission.
Yeah, and it's all well and good what they're seeing and how they're feeling right now. But this is the NFL. How many times have we watched 14-0 leads evaporate and quickly? So how have we seen them combat it? Continue to run your offense, but don't back off at all. Don't start looking at the clock. Don't start thinking about, hey, just take care of the football. Keep attacking. Usually the best way to maintain control.
Give him 3 on the run there. Now they're looking at a 3rd and about 5. They'll need 5 on this play to move the sticks. And movement here by one of the Texans up front. In comes the flag. And this offense back to needing 10 yards after the false start. 3rd and 10. Working out of the gun, it's Pickett. And this is going to be incomplete.
That might be the 3rd down stop that they needed because they've had a lot of trouble slowing down this offense in the first half. This might be their opportunity to get off the field.
The punt team on now is from their end zone. They get it away. It'll be a net of 40 yards following a punt of 44. And the Jaguars go on offense, first down and 10. And now out come the Jags.
Now, if you're a fan of punting, and I know that not many people are, but this game kind of turning into one for you.
Well, it's okay if it's a skills contest, right? We're really into it then, but not during the course of an actual game. This has turned into a field position game now. Sometimes a better punter may actually determine the outcome.
A solid one here as he'll pick his way down to the 42-yard line. It'll be a gain of 10 to start the drive out by a few inches. That'll be a first down. Now whistles here, and I believe one of the Jaguar linemen might have moved. A false start backs him up 5, first and 15. Now it's Stidham. A short one to the tight end, Troutman. So the completion results there in 9 yards. And that will bring up second down.
On 9-yard pickup, it's 2nd and 6 at the 38-yard line.
That's quickly out wide to Davis. They'll wind up getting just a yard. And that'll bring us to a 3rd and 4. In search of 4 yards here to pick up the first down. To throw is Stidham. He's got his target. That's complete. And he's going to be taken down with another first down as the stop's made at the Texans' 13-yard line. The pickup of 24 on the 3rd down conversion.
Normally on 3rd down and short yardage, you're thinking of throwing to your tight end. It's just going to be a simple chain mover. But this time they let him roam down the field, and a nice dart picks up the first down and then some.
This offense finding its legs now. Here's another 1st and 10. Stidham now off the bootleg. Toward the end zone, but that's going to wind up incomplete. Some of the fans here don't seem too happy about what we've seen in this first half.
No, not at all, and I understand why. They've looked lethargic, out of sync, and it shows on the scoreboard.
And he'll be taken down here at about the 11. They do get a couple, but they'll be left staring at a 3rd and 8 coming up.
2-yard pickup makes it 3rd and 8.
Stidham. Oh, he had him. He was open, but he couldn't get it to him. It's incomplete.
And based on my math, they've only converted 1 time thus far in this game, so you can see the frustration starting to come out a little bit. 3rd downs, they've been a problem for them all game. They've got to start becoming solutions.
Gonzalez's kick is good, and they will get themselves on the board here at 14-3. So he gets a shot at atoning for the earlier miss here in the first half and able to knock it through.
And what a relief for him, don't you think? Because how many games have we done where kickers missed one early and never gotten a chance to atone for it the rest of the game? That's a lot to carry around.
And no chance to get away as they'll get him down at about the 17-yard line. Here comes Jonathan Taylor and his teammates. He's over 40 yards here in the second quarter. Been nice and effective for them, hasn't he?
He has definitely been dependable, and really shouldn't underestimate what he's getting done here, because anytime you're on a pace that's going to approach 100 yards.
And he's free going down the left side. It's a foot race. And he's going to step out of bounds all the way down at the 30-yard line. 95 yards rushing for him as he has been tough to stop here this first half. Terrific run from one of the fastest backs in the game today. A guy who keeps defensive coordinators up at night, no doubt.
Remember when we were meeting with the D coordinator before the game and all he talked about was run fits, making sure our guys were in the right place so there were no creases?
They missed their fits, didn't they?
Yeah, there was no fit there. The only fit was at the end when he threw his headset down after that big run.
So how about this for a change in field position? From inside the 10, here's first down on the other side of the field. An option handoff given to Harris. And inside the 20 before he's brought down. That's good for a Texan first down, a 12-yard pickup. A lot to praise on this drive, obviously. I know you're seeing what I'm seeing. Those guys up front, they're getting it done.
Doesn't matter what play is called. They are handling their business at the line of scrimmage and dominating right now on this drive.
And they'll get him down right around the 16. Siaki Ika in to haul him down. Second down and 8.
brings up 2nd and 8.
Harris running straight ahead. And he's able to get this inside the 10 now to the 9. Good work to pick up 7 yards there. That gets him into a 3rd and 1 situation. We've got a 14-3 ball game with 2 minutes left in the opening half. Pickett on 3rd and 1. Pass taken in by his big tight end. And the Texans are going to have a 1st and goal coming up as they find a way to convert there on 3rd and 1.
And in a lot of ways, that catch is expected. Red zone presence, and that one was realized there. You've got to find your tight end in that situation.
Taylor will take this one in for a Texans touchdown.
And the thing you have to love about Jonathan Taylor, he's a shifty speed guy most of the time when you hand him the football. But he's not coming off the field when you get down near the goal line because he's as tough and gritty as they come. And he finishes things off here by getting into the end zone.
Extra point by York is up and good. And the lead is up to 18 now. Sanchez now, he'll kick it away following the touchdown. Taken at the goal line. And only able to get this to the 19, so probably should have opted for the touchback. And out now comes Jacksonville as they get ready to go. And this, let's face it, an important drive if they're going to get back into this ballgame.
Think about going into the locker room down 21-10 as opposed to 21-3. 21-10, a little more optimism, a little more bounce around the locker room, a little more discussion about how they're going to finish this thing off. 21-3. I think discouragement clouds that locker room.
Yeah, and I think a touchdown much bigger than a field goal on this drive just to get into the end zone and get that momentum. Stidham, a short one to the tight end, Troutman. And he gets this to the 35. Good for a gain of 5. Ball on the 35. Here comes 2nd and 5. He hits his target, Lockett. The Jaguars going to go ahead and use their first timeout as the clock shows 50 seconds to play here in half number 1. Throwing again here, Stidham. Throwing middle, but it's incomplete.
And not a common sight, at least on this drive. A momentary setback, though, for this passing game that has been moving well this series. Good thing for them, though. Still 2 more downs to connect and try and pick up another first down.
Stidham. That is caught, Schoonmaker. And he's going to be taken down, but there's a penalty flag in the backfield. Is this a hold, or did they rough the quarterback? So a critical mistake, roughing the passer. Now it's 1st and goal. Mixon trying to get to the goal line, but he's going to be stopped just short at the 1. Now the Jags will use the 2nd of their timeouts and he'll take this into the end zone. A touchdown, Jacksonville. Joe Mixon, his first rushing touchdown of the year. And the Jaguars get a late score here in the final minute of the first half. Everybody in the stadium knew what they were going to do right there, CD. 3 tight ends on the field, all that extra bulk, and they run it in.
And you saw where that one went, right? You run it over your best blocker. I can just see the head coach right now. I want to run this one over the big boy. And they got it done.
Now after the touchdown, here's Gonzalez on to kick it away. And he won't return this one. He'll go down to a knee, and they'll start at the 25. Here comes Jonathan Taylor and his teammates. And no doubt he's come out of the gate strong. Only in week 3, and you see the numbers thus far.
And we always talk about identity, setting a tone, you know, getting the groundwork laid for the season or for a game. And that's what they've done with the running game so far. It reminds me of when I first went to the University of Tennessee. And believe it or not, I was a quarterback for a day and a half. And the first practice session, the first play we ran was 28 pitch, which is a toss sweep. And I remember the offense coordinator saying, that's our identity, that's our bread and butter, that's the crisis around offense, we got to get that down right here, right now. I think we're seeing some of that in this running game here.
So did you not get that down, and that's why you were moved to the defense?
I don't know for that reason, but I do know I saw a couple of guys throw, and immediately they were saying, you know, you need to learn how to back up.
Hey, you turned into a heck of a DB, though, partner. He's been a busy man here in this first half as he gets it away. Fair catch called for and made right at the 25-yard line. So a change of possession here on the punt. And there'll be time for maybe one final play before halftime. He'll take the knee, and the final couple seconds will tick by in this first half. So we have reached halftime here. It's the visitors, the Texans, out in front. As we send you a couple hours south of here to Orlando, that's where we check in with a coach and our EA Sports halftime report.
Okay, Brandon, thanks very much. Time to give you folks at home a look around the NFL on this first official weekend of fall. So let's get to it. Let's check on one final game for you. And you can see they are scoreless as they play the second quarter. We saw former rushing champ Jonathan Taylor be a big-time factor in that first half. He wound up finding the end zone on a touchdown run to help give his guys the advantage here at the break.
Coach, thank you, and we welcome everyone back for quarter number 3. It's the Texans in front, and they're going to get the football first as we are back underway in the third quarter. They'll elect to bring it out here from the end zone. And he's up past the 20 to the 22-yard line. So here are the Texans to take over. They lost 2 straight coming in, but good news for them right now. They've got the lead and the football. A carry by Taylor to start the drive. And up to the 35 before they're able to knock him down. 111 yards for him on the ground now as he has been terrific here this afternoon.
Yeah, another good run there. He's been such a big part of their success here this afternoon. And that last carry, it puts him over 100 yards now for the day.
Back to Taylor on first down. And he'll take this ahead for about 4. Second down coming up.
And that was a quality play to start a new set of downs. That was simply an offensive line winning the battle up front and winning in a big way and giving their guy in the backfield a nice lane to hit.
Pickett. A pass complete downfield. It's Valdez-Scantling. And he takes this one down almost all the way to the 30. A gain there of 30 big ones.
Despite writing it down on my notes, I never give enough credit to the offensive line, and we have to here. The protection, that's what made this play a success. Quarterback had to wait for his crossing route to develop, and that takes a little bit of extra time. Excellent job by the big fellas up front.
So the big play changes the complexion of things. Here's 1st and 10 just outside the 30. Pickett, he'll look to throw it. And it's nearly an interception, but it's incomplete. Well, a turnover really would have helped him there, but not to be. Now a 2nd and 10. Pickett will look to throw it here. Short throw caught by Pitts. And inside the 20 before he's brought down. Texans passing game in rhythm right now, picking up another first. Whatever the discussions were at halftime to try to slow down this offense, it has not worked to this point.
Yeah, I have a vision right now of everything that was discussed at the half just being torn in shreds or being erased off of the Microsoft Surface tablets because none of it is working. They're really locked in on offense.
15 more there, and they're on a roll. It's another first down.
We don't talk about it very often, but sometimes there's a dip in intensity when you start the second half, which can manifest itself in some sloppy tackling. And how about right there? He ran right through that weak tackle attempt.
Harris is not going to get back to the line of scrimmage as they'll tackle him at the 3. That's going to go as a loss of 1 on first down.
That's a really alert defense there because they saw the heavy look come in from the offense, with extra linebackers who brought a little bit of speed and heft and able to really make a big-time play for their defense.
And he gets halfway there from the 4 to the 2 on a gain of 2. Big play coming here. It's 3rd and goal. They'll look to run with Taylor. Yeah, boy, a good surge defensively. It'll depend on the mark, but I'm not sure he got there. Only a yard there, so it brings up 4th and goal. Defense didn't budge on 3rd down. Now what are we going to see on 4th?
We are soon to find out, but does this feel like old school football or what?
Oh,
right?
yeah.
It's an old-fashioned goal line stand. I know what I would call on offense. I would go for it. I want some type of a play where my quarterback has a chance to run it or throw it. I don't just want one static play.
Well, they picked up right where they left off in the first half. First drive after the break, they come away with 3 and increase that lead.
Yeah, and you just want to keep building on that lead, don't you? Whether it's 6 points or 3 points, take everything you can get, keep maneuvering, keep adding to it, keep making it difficult for them to come back.
And he won't get this to the 20-yard line as he's down at the 19. Here comes the Jags offense now. Time for their first possession of half number 2. And their deficit a little wider now than it was at halftime following the field goal a moment ago.
But the goal is still the same because you know they want to come out, establish a rhythm in the second half, and get going. Make no mistake about it, though. Kicking field goals, not in their game plan. They need to get the ball in the end zone.
Brings up 2nd and 7.
They'll stay on the ground, Mixon again. Looking for a seam, but finding none. He'll get back to the line of scrimmage, and that's it. This offense in desperate need of a conversion as they come up on 3rd down. Now Stidham. And he's going to go down. The Texans come at him and able to bring him to the ground. Finally hauled down for the first time this game. Multiple defenders in there to drop him. And the Jaguars send out their punter as he'll punt it away for the 4th time today. And a fair catch called for and made just inside the 35-yard line. Out comes the Houston offense as they get set to take over here. Their drive last time, it stalled out. They were forced to take the short field goal.
And the key phrase, you nailed it. Forced to, because you know coaches look at these short field goals as a last resort, right? To them, that's not how drives are supposed to end. You're supposed to put 6 on the board. That's a consolation prize. Like going to the county fair, you don't get the big stuffed animal on that one, do you?
No, you don't go top shelf. That's bottom shelf material. Well, you hate that defensively. They had him pretty well corralled, but the face mask, that obviously changes things.
Yeah, it's a bit frustrating because you feel like you did everything right. You had him stop, but the hand gets up just a little too high, and the natural inclination is to hold on, and that's going to get called every time.
To the air on 1st down with Pickett. Short throw caught by Pitts. And the result here, a pickup of 8. Leaves him with 2 to go on 2nd down. 2 yards to go, 2nd down.
Brings up 2nd and 2 at the 39-yard line.
Now a toss play. It's Harris. And here he'll be brought down a little shy of the 35 at the 36. 4 yards the pickup, 1st down. Inside 4 minutes to go, 3rd quarter. They give to Taylor out of the gun. And he'll work his way inside the 30 now to the 28. 138 yards rushing for him now as his sensational afternoon continues. So it looks like somebody may have forgotten the snap count, and a 5-yard penalty ensues. They were looking good on 2nd down, but now they're backed up 5 yards by the false start, and it's 2nd and 8. Operating from the gun, Pickett. This is caught. It's Woods. And he's going to have another 1st down as the tackle's made at the Jaguars' 12-yard line. A gain there of 21 yards.
I'll tell you what, a lot of those mid-range throws have been available because sometimes teams get too concerned about the deep ball and they leave too much space in front of them, and these guys have been taking advantage so far.
Pickett to throw on 1st down. This will be caught at about the 5. Touchdown! Kyle Pitts, a 12-yard touchdown grab. And the Texans take a 3-touchdown lead.
For good reason, quarterbacks want to get the ball to the perimeter to their wide receivers for big plays. But in this situation, it felt like, based on coverage, he knew that he wanted his tight end to have the football, and for good reason.
And that is off the left upright. It's no good. Sanchez now, he'll kick it away following the touchdown. From a yard or two deep, here comes a return. And he'll be stopped right around where he would have been had he gone down to a knee, maybe a yard shy of there at the 24. Out comes the Jacksonville offense as they get set to take over here. I kind of feel like they've reached a do-or-die point in this game, Charles. If they're going to try to pull off an impressive comeback, it has to start right here, right now.
Yeah, now they've got a final chance to get out of this situation, but they also understand they've got to move the ball and move it fast. In addition, they need to save as much time so they can get 2 more possessions.
Kenneth Murray, the linebacker, there to make the play defensively. A 2nd and 10 forthcoming here. Third quarter action from Jacksonville. Now Stidham, off play action. And this one is going to be off the mark, too far out in front.
And attempted a deep ball there. They didn't get it. But, boy, they're going to need a few of those to actually hit in order to get back into this game.
Good thing they do have a little bit of time here still left in the contest. Decent-sized deficit, but not one that they can't manage. Now, meanwhile, a pass that should have been intercepted, but it winds up falling incomplete.
Well, he's smart enough to avoid the taunting rule, but I'll guarantee he quietly has told them, you might want to stop coming after me downfield because I just broke up another pass and took away a big shot that you were trying to succeed with.
Fair catch signaled for and taken just shy of the 30-yard line. Here comes Jonathan Taylor and his teammates. He's had a good performance, moved the ball effectively on the ground. Of course, he has the 1 touchdown.
And when you're able to move it as effectively as you've described, that leads to finding a way into the end zone, and now he's just trying to do it for a second time. And, of course, with that comes additional yardage.
Yeah, looking for additional yardage, and again, that second score here in the third quarter. 2nd and 10.
No gain on the play. 2nd and 10. At the 30-yard line.
They run once more with Taylor. He's brought down at the 34. Call it a gain of 4.
Well, you certainly have to give a little credit here because they're playing this game now at their pace. This is ball control football, sustained runs, taking their time, and making it work.
Work in the middle of the field, and he's got a man complete. And he is going to have the Texans first down as they're able to get the 3rd down conversion. 63 yards receiving for him now, and that last catch good enough for a first down. And they're not going to get to the line to run another play, so we will switch ends as the third quarter has come to a close. You are watching the NFL on EA Sports. Back now in Jacksonville. It's the Texans in control of the football and leading this game as well as we start the 4th. And he'll be taken down right around the 41-yard line. 149 yards rushing for him now as he has been tremendous all day long. On 2nd down, this is Harris. And he'll go down here at the 35-yard line. 6 yards the pickup, and that's a first down. Starting to become a tough spot for this defense. You're down 4th quarter, looking a little fatigued maybe on that side of the ball.
Partner, we've seen this before, haven't we? Because every coach we've ever talked to says body language is important. And now you're seeing guys with their hands on their hips, they're bent over, hands on their knees. And the offensive guys, they're just saying, let's just keep running it at them. We've got them now.
That's good for 21 yards and a first down. Starting to look like this drive, it may be the final nail in the coffin.
Well, this is why you work out so hard, right? This is why you spend all that time in the offseason. This is why you have those OTAs and mini camps for these situations, these scenarios, to run someone into the ground and secure a victory.
Now the second-year man from Alabama, it's Brian Robinson. He's going to get 4 out of this as he's down to the 10-yard line. 2nd and 6 from the 10. And movement here by one of the Texans up front. In comes the flag. And that false start penalty certainly not helping their cause here. 2nd down and long. They hand this off to Harris. He takes us down to about the 12 for a gain of 3.
They're in a pretty good spot right now with a convincing lead. I think this is where they put on the boxing gloves, start to try and pound them into submission.
And the offensive line, they've controlled this game. I don't see why that trend would change now. And the Texans are going to have 1st and goal as they try to finish off this drive with 6 points. He's been the go-to guy. They needed a big play there on 3rd down. Went his way, it worked out.
Doesn't matter whether they've scouted it or that they think he's going to get the ball. He has a knack for finding his way open and completing the connection.
And he gets halfway there from the 4 to the 2 on a gain of 2.
Najee Harris, well built for work down here near the end zone. That's a nice job there to hold him up. But I doubt we've seen the last of him on this drive.
Robinson. And he pushes forward but comes up short of the goal line as he'll get a yard down to about the 1. A big play forthcoming. Here's 3rd and goal. And movement here by one of the Texans up front. In comes the flag. A bad time for a false start penalty as they're backed up now for 3rd and goal. Pickett back to throw. And that will be caught, but out of the end zone, says the field judge. It's ruled incomplete.
They converted twice on 3rd down that drive already, but couldn't make it a 3rd. We always talk about in-game adjustments. How about what the defense did there, able to shut them down on that attempt?
York able to send this one through, and that will extend their lead even further. Well, ultimately not really sure that they're going to need those 3 points, but they'll take the 3 and they pad that lead.
Yeah, this one's already wrapped up, but you and I both know if you're an offensive coordinator, you never let up on the gas unless the head coach tells you to do so. And maybe you've actually clicked him off in your headset so you can keep calling plays and trying to add to this lead.
The Jaguars getting set to go. And they unfortunately are staring at a mini losing streak developing, trailing here in the 4th quarter. This would be their 3rd straight defeat. He lets it fly from Lockett. And it's knocked away and incomplete.
And they're at the point of the ball game now where they've got to take some chances. They've got to put the ball in the air and just see what happens. But this defense knows that all too well.
Another throw on 2nd down, and this one incomplete as well.
They lead big, and a major part of that has been how they've taken their play to a whole new level this 2nd half. No points allowed since the break, and you can add another incompletion to the total number that they forced in this runaway contest.
And he is going to have a Jags 1st down as they're able to get the 3rd down conversion. And he's got his man on the out route. And he'll be taken down, but not before he works it past the 50. And he will find his man on the outside. And brought down, but able to get it to their 30-yard line. Now here's a pass on 1st down that's knocked away and incomplete.
He didn't just deny a big throw there. He broke that one up in the red zone. An excellent play, one that may help save points on the board when this drive is over.
Stidham. And he's got his big tight end over the middle, complete. And finally down he goes as they work it inside the 10 to the 7. To Mixon on the check down. And the stop will come inside the 5 at the 4. Now hang on here a second. Looks like a Jaguar in some obvious discomfort from that last play. The medical staff will attend to him, and we will step aside. On the ground with a tight end. And he goes backwards on this one. Losing yardage to the 7. On 3rd and goal, Stidham. To the goal line, but it's incomplete.
At this point in the game, they've got to continue to try anything they can. They're still working at it, even though this one feels like a lost cause.
And a field goal obviously means nothing here. They're going to go ahead and go for it on 4th down. They'll try and throw for it with Stidham. Forced out to his left. The Jags come up empty on 4th down. And this 11-play drive is going to lead to nothing on the scoreboard. Well, certainly not the way that they were hoping that possession would end, failing to convert on fourth.
And now they've got to make sure that they keep their poise, they keep their confidence. Just because it didn't work once doesn't mean if they get that same situation later that they shouldn't go for it again. The defense feels great, but the offense, they can't be despondent.
And now out comes Houston. Been a very strong performance for them, really, on both sides of the football. The turnover on downs, the most recent example, and now, obviously, they're in a great spot here.
Yeah, if you're over on the bench right now, you're shaking hands with your teammate, you're hugging him, give him a little dap. Been a big, big performance for them. Now you just don't get careless. Take care of the ball on the way out.
And movement here by one of the Texans up front. In comes the flag. So they'll walk him back half the distance. Again, it's Harris on second down. They'll try to get forward, but he's going to be stopped in his tracks at about the 3. The Texans on third down. They've converted 6 times and could use a 7th here. This is 3rd and 8. Now contact up front as penalty markers come in. Who is this against? A little antsy on the left side of the line.
Yeah, I think they got the guy in the end. I think they got the DN there on that one. And let's face it, he is so amped up, wanting to get a good get off on the snap, jump too quickly.
And the penalty, a big assist to this offense. Now it's 3rd and 3. Trying to pick it up on the ground with Harris. And he is going to get the first down, it looks like, as he's up to the 12. Give him the 3rd down conversion, 5 yards on the play.
First down, Texans.
On 1st and 10, it's Robinson. And he'll get this one up to about his 14. Credit him with a 1-yard gain there to make it 2nd and 9.
A gain of a yard brings up 2nd and 9.
Second down and a run by Robinson. And a very short pickup there across the 15 to the 16. A gain of 2 there on the heels of a 1-yard pickup on 1st. Just 2 minutes remaining here in the 4th quarter of what has been a one-sided affair. So it's Texans football as we welcome you back. They've got a 3rd down now as they look for one more first down to help salt this one away. Throwing there, but this pass is going to wind up incomplete. Well, their passing attack, even though that one was incomplete, has been really sharp in this one. It's resulted in a lot of touchdowns, and it looks like they're not going to stop throwing the football until the very end of this one.
Well, that will certainly make everyone involved on offense pretty happy because that gives them all a chance to pad their stats a bit. But as far as the actual need, you and I both know they can just run this clock out because this one, it was over a long time ago.
43 yards on the punt, return of 4, and they will take over 1st and 10. Here's Joe Mixon as they start on the ground, and he goes across midfield and down into Houston territory. Now they got to get to the line quickly. Now Stidham on 2nd down. Now he drops it incomplete, and their struggles continue here.
Not only did he have a chance to scan the field there, it felt like he had a chance to scan it twice. The protection was that good. Unfortunately for him, the coverage.
And a double coverage, and it's intercepted. And the Texans are going to get the football here at their own 40-yard line. For this defense, CD, that's kind of the icing on the cake here as we get to the end of this one.
And didn't you feel that they weren't just going into total prevent there? You know, they had the lead, and sometimes you fall back and you lose your aggressiveness. Not in this case. They were still making a play on the football, and look how that one turned out. They may have salted this one away.
And here comes the Texans now. They're in control here as they start 1st and 10 and appearing to have righted the ship following that 2-game losing streak. And they'll get him down after a pickup of 8, 2nd and 2. The time called here because a member of the Texans is in some discomfort. While they come out and take a look at him, we will step aside for just a moment. Now a 2nd and 2. They'll run again with Harris. And he's stopped after a gain of 1. Not enough. Still a yard to go on 3rd down. So they just need 1 yard here to pick up the first down. On 3rd down, here's Harris. And he will have the first down as he gets this to the 47. Only 3 there on the pickup, but that's enough to move the chains.
First down, Houston.
So Houston going to come away here with the victory. And it was their defense that really made the statement after the break. They pitched the second half shutout.
Yeah, think about the team that just got vanquished. They did score in the 2nd quarter. Do you think they thought at all that would be their last points of the game?
No, but what a second half. The adjustment, whatever they did in the locker room, it certainly worked.
It certainly did, and you're exactly right. Whether it was an adjustment, whether it's just more focus on what they planned to do going in, whether they just played better, whatever it was, it all came together in the second half, and no points were allowed. That's a great way to close them out.
So for the Texans, they're into the win column now as they move to 1-2 on the young season. And they will head back home next week. Meanwhile, for the Jaguars, the early struggles continue as they'll sink to 0-3. And they'll get a chance to redeem themselves at home next week. So for our entire crew, alongside Charles Davis, I'm Brandon Gautin. Thanks for watching, everybody. We'll see you next time.